I've studied fear for years. One of my favorite things is to watch someone bust through the barriers of self-doubt and accomplish that very thing they were afraid they couldn't. Some time ago, I was hired to turn around a company that was in a financial tailspin. Stakes were high, people I didn't want to disappoint were depending on me, and failure was probable. And despite the possibility of failure looming over my head daily, I actually discovered that I could be my most effective in the face of fear. I could have the hard conversations, and I could take the actions no one else dared, even if my heart was racing and my palms were sweating. The results were impressive. It was intoxicating. Fear was present, but it wasn't in control. I got bolder. And then one day, fear got the best of me. And the next time I went to use my magic powers, self-doubt snuck up on me again. I could feel it, but I couldn't figure out how to shake it. I wanted my mojo back, and that's when I became a devout student of fear. Isn't it fascinating how a single thought can pop into our heads and quickly be dismissed or linger and grow, even consume us? One fearful thought triggers another and another and another. Growing in power, the clutter impairs our judgment and ultimately influences what action we take. We either avoid the very situation that we've grown to dread, or we power through it, riddled with self-doubt. Each time we're faced with a high-pressure situation and fear raises its ugly head, our minds are flooded with clutter. And yet it's during these times, more than ever, that we need to be calm and stay calm. We need to be confident and stay confident. We need to have clarity on what our objective is and what success looks like and feels like. So the question is that when the time comes, will fear be your master or will you master fear? Research shows that there's 2 factors that reliably predict how you will react in the face of fear. The first one is how confident you are in your abilities and support, and the second is how well you've done in the past. So the techniques and the tools that I'm going to show you are what I use to bring my best self forth whenever self-doubt and fear appear in my mind. These tools are actually based on 3 principles. Number 1, visualizing something increases the probability that you'll act on it. Number 2, repetition of any thought or behavior creates long-term memory and faster recall. And number 3, each time we conquer fear increases the likelihood of future success, and it boosts our self-confidence that we can handle even bigger challenges. So we start with a vision of the best version of you that we can imagine. And the goal for this purpose, or the goal for this vision, is to become our GPS. It's our navigation system for how we want to behave in times of crisis. My GPS is a vivid image of the person that I aspire to be. I love her. She's strong, confident, resourceful. She demonstrates all the qualities that I admire most when interacting with others. She's her best in a crisis, and she never is held back by fear. Now, you'll want to create your own image. Is that you can do this by taking pen to paper or just closing your eyes and visualizing. But you'll want to take the time to do this well, because the more evocative the image is, the more effective it will be. It's really important to know that this best image, or the person you aspire to be, doesn't come from here. It comes from here. That's what gives it power. Trust yourself to know the difference, because you do. Even though your mind will try to convince you that you don't. That's just clutter. So once we have this vision of this person we aspire to be, we're ready to take on morning and evening practices. They take only a few minutes to do. Now, I don't know about you, but when I wake up first thing in the morning, my mind is far from free from clutter. I have to intentionally redirect my thoughts to envision how I want my day to go and who I want to be. So while I'm brushing my teeth, I take a few minutes and I imagine seeing and feeling this best version of myself, taking on conquering the challenges of the day with grace and ease. That's not typically my default. And I try to keep this vision present throughout the day as I go throughout the day and align my thoughts and actions accordingly. Some days I rock, some days I don't. But at the end of the day, I take a few minutes to reflect. Where did I go off course? What thought or reaction triggered me? No analyzing and no beating myself up. I just notice. Simply by noticing, my brain is alerted to be on guard for the next time that offending thought appears. And when it does, I get the opportunity to do something differently. I focus on the wins and I minimize the failures. And this is important because each win preconditions the mind for future wins. We don't want to precondition the mind with failure by focusing on failure. So these simple practices prepare us for the inevitable bigger challenges that will come our way. And when they do, and you find that fear has raised its ugly head and your mind is spinning in circles, you'll want to know how to stop the merry-go-round in your head and bring forth your best self. Let me show you how. If you'll just clear anything off your lap that will create any distractions, sit up straight, and keeping your eye on my finger for the entire exercise, take a deep breath in and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale all the way out, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Deep breath in, deep breath, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now exhale all the way out, keeping your eye on my finger. Breathe normally. Notice the silence in your head. There it is. Did you catch it? That's our opportunity. After that last exhale, for just a few seconds, your mind was clear. The clutter is quiet, but not for long. Emotions are muted, but not for long. That was your opportunity, those few seconds of opportunity, but not for long. So what do you do to fill that empty space in your head? Next time, after that last exhale, while your mind is quiet, before your thoughts can resume, you dig that person of that vision of the person you aspire to be and put it back where it belongs, front and center. Then you ask yourself, redirect your mind, ask yourself 2 questions. What's most important, and what would my best self do now? Your brain scrambles to find an answer. Your objective comes into focus. The vision of your best self handling the situation clears away the clutter. Your attention moves from the swirl, forgive me, you get the objective, your image of your best self, and then your attention moves from the swirl up here to the laser focus of the results you want to produce out here. Now you're ready to take on the challenge. You can trust yourself to know what to do and what to say, even if you're scared out of your mind. With clarity and conviction, you're less likely to waver. With these routines, I'm able to see where I go off course and what thoughts or emotions lead me astray. By monitoring my thoughts throughout the day, I'm able to discriminate which thoughts I want to nurture and uphold and which thoughts have got to go. I'm learning to clear the clutter from my mind as soon as it appears and replace it with something fruitful. When the time comes, I will be ready, and so can you with practice.